Have you ever held a whole world in your hands? It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But it is something we can all do. We can create a tiny jungle, a miniature forest, all contained within the clear walls of a simple glass jar. This isn't just a collection of plants. It is a living, breathing ecosystem, a place where life finds a way to thrive, all on its own. It is a wonderful experiment. It shows us the incredible power of nature, even in the smallest of spaces. We can watch a complete world unfold before our very eyes. Imagine a small sealed world. Inside this glass container, a story will begin. It is a story of growth, of change, and of survival. We will place small plants inside, giving them a new home. They will reach for the light. Their roots will dig deep into the soil we provide. It is a chance to witness the fundamental processes of life up close. This is not a garden that needs constant attention. Once sealed, this tiny jungle will look after itself. It becomes a self-sustaining marvel, a perfect miniature replica of the great forests that cover our planet. The idea is wonderfully simple. We bring together the essential elements for life. We provide soil for nutrients. We add small stones for drainage. We introduce the key players, the plants themselves. And finally, we give it the most precious resource of all, water. Once the lid is closed, a remarkable cycle begins. The jar becomes a microcosm of Earth. It demonstrates the delicate balance required for life to flourish. Observing this balance day by day is a truly captivating experience, connecting us directly to the natural world. Over the next 100 days, we will be silent observers. We will watch as this miniature ecosystem establishes itself. We will see the slow, determined dance of life. The leaves will unfurl. The stems will stretch towards the sun. And hidden from view, a network of roots will explore its new territory. It is a journey of discovery, not just for the life inside the jar, but for us as well. We learn patience. We learn to appreciate the small, often overlooked details of nature's grand design. It is a spectacle of quiet, persistent life. Our journey begins with the foundation of our world. We start with a layer of small stones or pebbles at the bottom of the jar. This is a very important step. These stones create small spaces and gaps. When we add water later, any excess will trickle down and collect here. This prevents the soil from becoming too wet. It stops the plant roots from rotting. It is like creating an underground reservoir for our tiny jungle. This simple layer of rocks is the first piece of the puzzle, ensuring our ecosystem has a healthy base from which to grow and thrive. Next, we add a thin layer of activated charcoal. This might seem like a strange addition, but it has a vital purpose. The charcoal acts as a natural filter. It helps to keep the water clean and fresh inside the sealed environment. It absorbs impurities and prevents any unpleasant smells from developing over time. Think of it as the jar's personal cleaning crew, working silently to maintain a healthy and balanced home for the plants. This small step is crucial for the long-term success of our little world, keeping it pure and pristine for the life it will soon hold. Now comes the most important layer, the soil. This is where our plants will find their food. We add a generous layer of potting soil on top of the charcoal. It should be deep enough for the plant's roots to have plenty of room to grow and anchor themselves. This dark, rich earth is full of nutrients. It is the lifeblood of our miniature forest. We gently pat it down, creating a stable ground for our green inhabitants. This soil will support them, feed them, and provide a home for the intricate web of life that will soon develop beneath the surface. With the landscape prepared, it is time to introduce the inhabitants. We choose small plants that love humidity, like ferns or mosses. These are plants that naturally thrive in damp, forest-like conditions. Using long tweezers, we carefully place them into the soil. We arrange them to create a pleasing, natural-looking scene. A little moss can be added to cover the soil, acting like a green carpet. Finally, we add a small amount of water, just enough to make the soil damp, but not soaking wet. Our tiny world is now ready to be sealed. The lid is now on. The world inside is sealed. For the first few days, not much seems to happen. But beneath the surface, a great deal of activity is taking place. The roots of the plants, unseen by our eyes, are beginning to explore their new home. They stretch out, seeking moisture and nutrients from the rich soil. They are creating a hidden network, an underground foundation that will support all the growth we are about to see. This quiet period is a time of establishment, as the plants acclimate to their new, enclosed environment and prepare for the journey ahead. Around day 30, visible changes begin to appear. A new leaf on a tiny fern might unfurl, a vibrant bright green against the darker, older foliage. The moss may look thicker, spreading slowly across the surface of the soil. The plants are not just surviving, they are actively growing. They are reaching towards the light that filters through the glass. The energy from this light is fueling their growth. It is a slow, silent, but magnificent process. Each new sprout is a testament to the resilience of life, a small victory in this isolated world. By day 60, the growth is more obvious. The plants are visibly larger, stems are taller, and the leaves are more numerous. If you look very closely at the glass, you might see something truly remarkable. You may spot the fine, white threads of roots pressing against the side of the jar. They weave their way through the soil, a visible map of the plant's search for sustenance. Sometimes other life appears. A tiny mushroom might sprout from the damp soil, living its entire life cycle in a matter of days. These are signs of a healthy, functioning ecosystem. As we approach day 100, our jar is transformed. What was once a collection of separate plants has become a dense, interconnected mini jungle. The leaves of different plants may now be touching. They have created a lush canopy. The inside of the jar is a vibrant green space, teeming with quiet life. The small world we created has found its balance. It has grown and matured. It is a thriving, self-contained wilderness. Looking at it, one feels a sense of wonder at how such a complex and beautiful system can flourish in such a simple glass container. One of the most magical things happening inside our jar is something we can see every day. It is the water cycle in miniature. When the sun warms the jar, water evaporates from the soil and from the leaves of the plants. It turns into an invisible vapor. As this warm, moist air touches the cooler glass sides of the jar, it condenses. It turns back into tiny droplets of water. You can see this as a fine mist or as larger drops clinging to the inside of the glass. It looks as if the jar is sweating. These water droplets then do something wonderful. They grow larger and heavier, and eventually they trickle back down the sides of the jar. This is like a tiny indoor rain shower. The water drips back down into the soil. The plants can then absorb this water through their roots, and the cycle begins all over again. This constant recycling of water means our jungle never runs dry. It has its own private weather system. It is a perfect self-watering system that keeps the plants alive and healthy without us ever needing to open the lid again. This little world shows us the incredible power of balance. The plants produce the oxygen that other tiny organisms, perhaps a minuscule insect that hitched a ride, might need. When old leaves fall and decay, they return their nutrients to the soil. This, in turn, feeds the living plants. Everything has a purpose. Nothing is wasted. It is a perfect circle of life, death, and renewal, all happening on a scale that we can observe and understand. It is a powerful lesson in how ecosystems work, demonstrating the delicate connections that sustain all life on our planet. Creating a jungle in a jar is more than just a craft project. It is an opportunity to connect with the natural world in a profound way. It teaches us patience as we watch for slow, subtle changes. It inspires awe as we witness the complex systems that life creates to sustain itself. It is a reminder that even in the smallest, most contained spaces, nature's ingenuity is boundless. I encourage you to try it. Build your own tiny world. Watch it grow. You will be holding a small piece of the planet's magic right there in your own hands.